One of the major problems we have in the West, especially when we have so much land ownership that's vested in the federal government, is we have a lot of environmental activism. It's big business. Environmental groups make a lot of money, and under the Equal Access to Justice Act, they can sue, and if the Forest Service or BLM gets sued and settles, they get attorney's fees, and sometimes pretty substantial attorney's fees. Earth Justice, which was the legal arm of what used to be the Sierra Club, I believe, has made over $100 million in the last 15, 20 years suing the government. And it's we, the people, who are paying that money. And, you know, people just don't make that connect. We have to limit the power and the ability of these people that want to control what's cut, where it's cut, how it's cut, and how it's extracted to some degree. And there's no question that, you know, we need environmental laws, we need restrictions. The Oregon Forest Practices Act was enacted back in the early 70s just for that purpose, to make sure that logging operations were done correctly, they were going to have no riparian problems. There is a lot of restriction that goes into a timber sale. Individuals, even small timberland owners, have to get a permit from the Oregon Department of Forestry when they want to harvest any type of timber on a commercial basis, even if it's, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 logs. And then there are requirements afterwards. They have to, you know, replant within 2 years. There are limits as to how close they can get to streams and creeks and rivers where they harvest. So there's a lot of restrictions in place, and it just appears to me that this environmental activism has gone way, way, way too far. Unfortunately, it is big business, and it's really hard to combat the rhetoric and the emotionalism. You know, when they couch everything in the terms that they want to clear cut the last of the ancient forests, it becomes, you know, an emotionalized issue, and that's not the case anymore. In fact, the agencies in Southern Oregon do no clear cutting at all. I mean, unless you have an area of root rot or something like that, it's all selective harvesting. But the disinformation and the misinformation that people around this country are getting is that industry is bad, they want to clear cut all the forests, and it's so incorrect and it's so misleading. But there are reasons little old ladies down in Sarasota, Florida, writing $15 checks to, you know, Earth First or whatever organization is beseeching them to have support. So yeah, it's really frustrating, and I think the only way we're going to really get beyond that is to have some kind of modification of some of the environmental laws, the Endangered Species Act. People have got to be a part of that equation now, and they're not. It really wouldn't take an awful lot of consensus to be able to do a good job thinning our forests and, you know, revitalizing them, making them a lot healthier. Because right now, they're probably in the worst health conditions I've ever seen. I was born and raised here in Southern Oregon, and in my 60+ years, I've never seen our forest sicker. I've never seen so many trees dead in the forests that just die for whatever causes. There's an awful lot of competition for nutrients and moisture in the soil. It's just a huge event, catastrophic event waiting to happen, and it's getting worse every year, and that's a real concern.